Yeah. Battery.
Haha. Cause
Right.
battery.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Mark Perrette with the Grid Book series, and today we have Parker Matthews with us.
What up?
So if you guys are not familiar with Parker Matthews, you might want to check out Instagram. It's at Parker_Matt9, and it's with one T.
One T.
One
My last
T.
name only has one T.
He has taken over our Grid Book Live before. For those of you who are real OG followers, you definitely know who this guy is. Super proud of you, man. We're going to get into your story a little bit, and I think it's going to bring some hope to a lot of players out there, because I feel like a lot of people are in your situation.
Yes.
Yes. But before we start, let's hear a little about yourself, Parker Matthews.
All right. So I'm 18. I live in Clemson, South Carolina. I'm a senior in high school, so I'm not not associated with the college yet. That's where I plan to go. That's my plan, to go to Clemson University.
Senior in high school.
Yep. I don't know. Started drumming in 6th grade. 6th grade beginner band, middle school concert band. I just fell in love with it. I remember, here's my biggest moment of when I decided I wanted to put work in and get results.
On drumming.
On percussion, yes.
Yeah.
Percussively, yes. So we were auditioning in All-State, or South Carolina has All-State Band, right? So the South Carolina Band Directors Association hosts auditions all across the state. There's 5 regions, so you make all-region, and then if you're in the top 5 in your region, you make All-State. Mm-hmm. So I was in 7th grade, right? Didn't really know what I was doing. I mean, I was playing drums, right?
Right, yeah.
So I got in, and I was I think I was 4th in the region or something. I was like, all right, cool. And my band director was like, yo, you get to audition for All-State now. So I was like, oh, cool, I'll probably do that. And I came out of my audition at All-State, and I was like, man, I really want to make this.
Yeah.
But that was after I had already auditioned. So I kind of figured it out, I really want to make this. And then the results come in on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon or whatever it was, and I wasn't on the roster.
No.
So...
Cut.
Yeah. Cut. It's concert band, but I got cut.
Yeah.
I was 12, and then the next year I was like, oh, I'm making All-State next year. And
right.
I was first chair All-State in 8th grade.
Nice.
And so that was when I really figured out, in this percussion thing we do, you can put it in and get what you want out of it.
Now, in middle school, and this is something that, we talk a lot about, when you went from middle school band and you went into high school band, how prepared did you feel to be in marching band with marching percussion?
Yeah, so I actually had it set up well. So the band director in middle school, we have a band comprised of 7th and 8th graders.
Cool.
In our middle school. That's kind of we call it the festival band. It's the all-star kind of band. And in 8th grade, and we play at pep rallies and football games.
Right,
we do
right.
2 football games a year in a pep rally.
So you get a little of that.
Right, and so there's a little bit, and so my middle school band director was like, yo, there's a quad toms part for this song. Do you want to play it?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. 4 drums, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So I put together 4 concert toms and started, my mock quads and started playing that. And then eventually we borrowed them from the high school for the actual performances.
Yeah.
So I got exposed to that. But that was, basic pop patterns.
Right.
Nothing hard. But then that was, and then we had a middle school night with the high school band when I was in 8th grade and 7th grade. So we we would spend, that all-star band from the middle school would spend a Friday night with the high school band. So we would go to the football game, watch the halftime show, get exposed to marching instruments.
That's crucial.
Yeah, that's a big, marching percussion is a different beast from middle
for
schools.
sure.
So I really became familiar with kind of quads and what it means to be in a high school drumline and all that. And so I started working, just, having fun playing quads. Not really, I looked up a ton of YouTube videos on the fundamentals of quad playing, going around the drums, technique, all that stuff.
So the majority of what you did, though, is all self-taught?
Yes. No, I did not. I've never received a lesson on quads.
Nice.
A private lesson. I've never received a private lesson on quads.
So, and I think this is something that a lot of people will connect with, is you march drum corps.
Yes.
And so I feel that some people think if they don't have an instructor and they go to a school that maybe doesn't have like some national ranking band, that they'll never be able to march drum corps.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's not true because I've done it.
Right.
So
Hold on, I don't mean to cut you off, but listen, it doesn't matter, guys. Like, it does not matter where you come from. You have the potential to march drum corps. You have the potential to look at the pinnacle of what this is and do that.
Yes, absolutely.
But how do you do that, or what was your path?
Exactly.
And maybe that can give some hope.
So yeah, so that fall when I was in 8th grade, I'd been playing quads like kind of
As much as you can
right.
in middle school.
And so in March of my 8th grade year, so that would have been March of 2013, I was assigned to play quads in the next fall for high school band.
Cool.
And personally, that was like, whoa. And as soon as I could, I ordered a quad pad.
Nice.
And that whole summer, I was following drum corps. I was practicing my butt off, like getting as good as I can.
So watching videos on YouTube.
Watching videos is
You
huge.
got a quad pad so you actually could
Play
practice
quads.
what you wanted to play. Cool.
Yep. And like that, we were like on top of our game that year. We had the music out early and all the exercises, everything for the high school
Good.
show.
Now this is you going into 9th grade
Going into 9th grade.
as a freshman.
As a freshman.
Cool.
I was the only quad player in our band. We had a small drum line, so I was the only quad player.
Right.
And so I really, like, through the demand of the high school season, that's where that's where I decided I wanted to play quads.
Right.
And actually, that was the only season I marched quads in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Nice.
my freshman year, I played quads, and then my sophomore year, we didn't have a drum line. I played marimba, so I developed my marimba chops, which is, if you guys don't know, I play marimba like 4 mallets and stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily, like, maybe I wouldn't do it again in a marching ensemble, but I love playing mallets, and it's helped me with everything else I do.
Say it again.
Yeah, so playing marimba, like, not just marimba, it can be xylophone, whatever it is, it helps you with all of percussion.
Like, how so, though? Like, I'm talking to the snare heroes out there
Okay.
who just play snare and they think that mallets is whatever.
All right, if you learn to play mallets, the music you play on mallets can be transferred to snare drum. Like, you can play music on snare drum. We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, the musicality
The
of what you do.
musicality of snare drum. It's difficult. It's a difficult thing to present.
Yeah.
But if you learn to play music, which I feel like is easier on marimba because there's notes.
You
and there's,
understand sensitivity as well.
Yes, because marimbas are sensitive.
Right.
And if you apply that to a marching snare drum, it's even more, like if you play a softer note, like it's more magnified.
Right.
Because it's a snare drum and it's cranked high tension and anything you do is noticed. So I feel like when you learn to play music on mallets, you can apply that to snare drum.
Right.
And then for quads, obviously I'm moving horizontally and playing different things. So that, I mean, just that motion helps
Right.
from marimba to quads
X
and
and
vice
Y
versa. Yeah,
axis.
exactly. So that was big. And then my junior year, I marched snare in
Cool.
high school. And then senior year, I marched snare also.
So freshman year, you march quads.
Yep. And that
Then-
set me on fire to play quads.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And then your sophomore year, you played in front ensemble
Yep.
on marimba,
Yep.
and learned 4 mallet and learned about sensitivity
Exactly.
of the keys and understanding
Shaping
a lot of
phrases and
shaping
all
phrases,
that.
understanding rhythmic accuracy too, and also I'm sure were you center marimba or were you outside?
Okay, well, actually, no. So we only had 2 of us. And the other guy he marched Palmetto Percussion. He played vibes in Palmetto Percussion.
Oh, very cool.
So he's really good too. Shout out to my man Matthew. He knows who he is. I don't know if you'll see this, but
Right.
yeah, he's really good.
He
And
will
so
now.
we were able to feed off of it, feed off each other. I learned a lot from him about marimba playing for sure because he had done it at the highest level.
Right, yeah.
And we're in the same grade, so we've still he's still in Equinox now. I'm playing quads in Equinox. He's playing vibes in Equinox still.
That's
so
dope.
yeah, so
Family vibe.
absolutely. Vibe. But yeah, so I wasn't like center, but we only had 2, so it wasn't like. But it's you have to play a different type of clean.
Right.
In marimba.
And just the listening responsibility
Right.
of being all the way in the front.
Right. Well, we were actually in the center.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that
Nice.
was a little funky,
Yeah.
but
Okay. And then junior year you were on snare and,
Yep.
and senior year you were
yep,
on
we had
snare.
2 snares my junior year and then 3 my senior year.
Now, were you like, okay, I'm playing snare, but tenors is definitely still my love.
Well, we didn't have quads.
Okay,
So
you
it
didn't have
wasn't
quad.
like I wasn't like
wishing you were in
Yeah,
that section.
Yeah, there wasn't anywhere else I would, rather be. Like,
So super small
yes, very small
drumline,
program.
no drum instructor.
Oh, we have one. We didn't have one my freshman year, and then there's a guy that started my sophomore year who's been great through my senior year.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
So I mean, at least that way you did have someone there.
Oh, yeah. To
like,
tell us to play in time and all that stuff.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
And he's
excellent.
great. Like, he does a great job and all that stuff. So,
cool.
yeah.
So then it was like, I'm assuming that you practiced all the time,
Yes.
played all the time. And I think
Yes.
that's something where people miss out. Well, I guess first question is how soon after, well, hold on. You're in your senior year now.
Mm-hmm.
And you marched drum corps.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about that. Like,
Okay.
tell me about you going from being just another high school drummer to marching drum corps.
Okay.
Which, where did you march?
Yeah. Okay. So I marched Spartans this summer out of Nashua, New Hampshire.
Shout out
was great.
Spartans.
Yeah, that was a fun drum line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talking
And
about
really wonderful staff there, too.
yes, the staff.
It's a great organization.
Absolutely. So I did quads my freshman year, and that was the only time in high school. That was the only field show I had marched.
Mm-hmm.
So I get cut from Palmetto Percussion for the 2015 season.
Right.
And then, so that would have been in the fall of 2014.
Okay.
So we roll around Thanksgiving time, and I'm watching the parade on Thanksgiving morning, and there is a band of high schoolers from all around the country
Right.
that have auditioned and made this band and are in the Macy's parade.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I'm doing that. So as soon as the audition process was like released for the Macy's Great American Marching Band for the 2015 parade, I hopped on it.
No, wait. You were snare in high school?
This was after I just finished marimba in high school.
Okay, so you were a marimba player in high school.
After a season of quads.
After a season of quads, as a sophomore, and then you went and made quads on the Macy's drumline?
Right, but it was for my junior year. So I auditioned at
Right.
the end of my sophomore year.
Okay.
And then my junior year rolled around, and I already knew. I had found out that summer. That was been summer of 15.
Now, did you stop practicing quads, or you still practiced on your pad at home while you were learning
Oh, I
marimba?
only practiced quads at home.
Right.
So,
you
I'm on a mission.
You marched quads your freshman year.
Right.
But then
never stopped
you
practicing
didn't
quads.
stop practicing.
Never stopped
even though
practicing
you were
quads.
on a different instrument,
Yeah.
you still were like, this is what I'm going
Yes.
to do.
Yes.
And so I'm going to continue
Exactly.
doing this.
Because I love it. Right. So, yeah. So I auditioned and I made it for the 2015 band. So summer of 2015, I found out I've been, following drum corps. I was making tons of drumming videos that summer and
Yeah.
everything. Found out I was going to be in the Macy's Great American Marching Band. So I did that. And that was the first time I performed on quads since 2013. Since October of 2013. So it had been
Publicly.
13 months
Yeah,
since
yeah.
I had been in front of people playing quads.
Mm-hmm.
From my freshman year to MGA&B 2015. And then I did that again in 20... Okay, so that was... Yeah. And so then...
Talk
Yeah.
about, you said you went and you tried out at, which at the time was Palmetto.
Now it's
Percussion.
Equinox.
Now it's Equinox.
And I'm marching there this
right.
season.
Right. But you went and tried out for
Quads.
and got cut.
Yeah.
So tell me about that experience.
Right. So that was my first audition for an independent group.
Like
ever.
first real audition.
Yeah, ever. Yeah. And that was important because...
Were you nervous going in?
A little bit. I didn't really know what to expect.
Right.
So I didn't know if to be nervous or not.
And you came from a place where you were hands down the best person.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. So, like, there were no other quad players in my school. I had only
Right.
seen... So, I mean, I'd seen, video in the lot videos
Right.
and all that stuff, but I didn't really...
How about this? How about you probably would watch DCI quad players and be like, I could do that.
Yeah.
Like, you're like...
Look up the quad breaks from 2012.
Yeah,
I can play this.
You don't really get how hard it is.
Right. Like, I can play it, but I can't play it well. Like,
Right. So you go to the
so
camp.
I go, yeah. And they're like, good job, you got way better, but, like, probably not going to get a contract on quads. So they actually tried to move me to the front ensemble.
Yeah.
Because they had known, that was after I'd played marimba in the fall. I auditioned for quads. And, and so the one of the, like, guys on staff at Palmetto knew I could play marimba. And so I didn't really want to do that, I want to play quads. I want to be a quad player.
Was that a humbling experience?
Absolutely. It was like, I'm not a quad drummer yet.
Right.
Like, I can play quads, but I'm not a quad player.
Right.
That's big.
And that's huge. And so for those of you out there like watching this, you have to go get cut.
Yeah, you have to.
Like, go get cut.
Try your best, but...
Right. Like, go do your best, be a sponge. But the biggest thing is some people have this mentality of, I'm going to wait till I'm ready, and then I'm going to go try out.
Yeah,
and then you still get cut.
And you lost a year.
What?
And you lost a whole year.
Yeah, but if you go, let them see your face and let them see your progress over the year, and that speaks volumes. And so a lot of people that you watch and idolize, you're like, man, watching Blue Devils or, Santa Clara Vanguard, whoever, a lot of those people got cut at one point or another, and you don't see that. You just see the end result. And so that's a huge thing. And, I mean, you eventually made Spartans.
Right.
But getting cut also lit a fire.
Yeah, that
helped
it's like, no, I gotta
develop.
Do this.
Yeah.
So I got cut on Palmetto, and then, so I marched the Macy's Parade. And then...
Which is rocking, by the way.
Oh, that's amazing. It's so fun. And then that December, like a month after I got back, I went and auditioned for Spirit of Atlanta.
Oh, cool.
And went all the way to February and got cut.
Right, last cut.
In drum corps, but this is outdoor, see, I've never done outdoor.
Right.
So, I'm looking around, looking for places to march.
Which at any, you could have quit after that.
Oh, yeah, I could have given up.
And that
I could have been like, no,
man, I got cut twice?
Right.
I'm out.
Right.
But you did it. You kept going.
Yeah, I
so
knew this is where I wanted to be. Yeah. So, actually, shout out to Kylie Goss, if you guys know her, EC Center Snare.
That's my girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She gets contracted at Spartans in early spring, and then in April, the week after, it was the week before Dayton.
Yeah.
Of 2015, she was like, "Yo, there's a quad spot at Spartans. Come fill it."
Yeah.
And a week later, I was on a plane with her to New Hampshire.
Now hold the phone. Hold the phone. How did you know Kylie?
Okay, so we knew each other through Instagram.
Through Instagram.
Yeah. And then I met her at Spirit of Atlanta auditions.
Okay,
so then
cool.
we got that face-to-face, relationship, all that stuff. And then, so she gets cut at Spirit of Atlanta in February, same as me.
Oh, you both got cut
from Spirit of Atlanta.
Right.
And so early spring, she gets a spot at Spartans, and then it was the week of Dayton, actually.
Okay.
She was like, "Yo, there's a quad hole at Spartans, come fill it."
Right.
And
so sometimes not what you know, it's who you know.
And a week later,
it's those connections that end up changing your life.
And a week later, I was on a plane to New Hampshire with her.
Which is so cool.
And we went up there that weekend, and I signed the contract.
Yeah.
And I was marching Spartans open class.
Right.
I was all about it, and so we did the Spartans drum corps thing. Loved it. Had a great summer. Got pretty good by the end.
Tour fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you learn things that you didn't even know that you were going to learn?
Oh, yes.
Like you have this idea of what it's going to be, but then...
I can play drums, and I can do that, but you can be good at drum corps without being good at drums.
Right.
There's you have to be at a certain skill level to be on a drum corps drum line, but you have to learn how to do drum corps. It's a different life.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. And I mean, it teaches life lessons too.
Oh yeah, time management and working hard at something, just getting good at one thing.
Right. And you can put that energy into anything. So whether you're going to do percussion or whether you're going to be an architect or anything, you apply all of those really demands that you're put through and the work ethic into everything else in life, which is super cool.
Yeah.
But the biggest topic is people think that they can't make drum corps. It's too hard.
Right.
I'm not going to go and do this. But you said, this is what I'm going to do. And then you didn't stop until it happened.
And I still haven't stopped after it's happened.
Right. And you still have... So what's next for Parker Matthews?
So I came off that summer, and that was when I felt like, okay, I'm a quad player now. We talked about that. I can play quads, but I'm a quad player
now.
I've
After
done
a season with open class DCI Corps, and a good one, Spartans, I mean...
We started throwing down by the end.
The staff there is fantastic. Yep. And historically, Spartans has been a great organization for a very long time.
Yeah. So that was, got off tour in August. Flew home from Indianapolis after finals. And the next step was Equinox percussion. Started halfway through September. So like about a little over a month later, we started going into auditions there.
Yeah.
The second camp weekend, there was like 3, I think. The second camp weekend, I signed my contract, and I'm playing quads for Equinox.
That's so cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And so far, I love it.
Yeah.
Indoor. See, I've never done indoor before.
Right.
Like at all. So, I mean, I watched, like, I've been to some regionals and stuff.
Right.
But, yeah.
It's cool. It's a different
indoor
animal.
game is fun.
So I know you got to run.
Yeah, I do. Out of
Is
time,
there?
unfortunately.
I know. This is great, though. I think we got a really
In
good
the
chat. If you had to give any advice to, we talked about you being in middle school. Like, there are people that follow the Gridwick series that really have aspirations to march in high school drumline, or march in indoor drumline, or march in DCI. Any last minute advice that you would have for them on the come up?
I mean, there's so much I could say right now. Like for one thing, it's all about you in terms of where you want to go.
Right.
It's not like, you can say there's all these limiting factors and everything, but like at the end of the day, you've got to work hard to get your results.
Right.